You filled your gas tank this week. You probably ate some ice cream, took a vitamin, maybe squeezed some lotion on your hands. And in every single one of those moments, there's a decent chance a scraggly little bean from the deserts of India was involved. It's called Guar, and it might be the most important plant you've never heard of. Let's start in Rajasthan, the driest, hottest corner of northwestern India. Think dusty red soil, temperatures pushing 45 degrees Celsius, and farmers growing a crop that looks, honestly, pretty unremarkable. It's a legume. It grows about 2 to 3 meters tall. It has little white flowers, bean pods in clusters, which is actually where the common name comes from, cluster bean. Its scientific name is Siamopsis tetragonoloba. You don't need to remember that, and it honestly took me a very long time to learn how to pronounce it. What you do need to know is this: nobody is totally sure where it came from. Botanists have never found it growing in the wild, anywhere on Earth actually. The leading theory is that Arab traders brought a wild ancestor over from Africa sometime between the 9th and 13th centuries. It was meant to be fodder for horses, and over the centuries it was gradually domesticated in South Asia. It became a cattle feed crop, completely anonymous on the world stage. So, how does a humble cattle feed from medieval India end up being a strategic global commodity in the 21st century? One word: gum. Hidden inside the guar seed endosperm is a carbohydrate called galactomannan. When you grind it up and mix it with water, something almost magical happens. It turns into an incredibly thick, stable, viscous gel, way thicker than you would expect for how little powder you used. This substance is called guar gum, and it has a property that makes chemists and food scientists giddy. It's one of the most powerful natural thickeners on the planet. The world first really took notice during World War II when American researchers started systematically testing seeds for industrial potential. They found that guar gum was a brilliant additive for paper manufacturing. It gave paper towels temporary wet strength, and suddenly there was a reason to grow this plant at scale. But that was just the beginning. Here's a fun experiment. Go to your kitchen, pull out your ice cream, and read the ingredients label. I will wait. There's a very good chance you saw guar gum listed. Same with your salad dressing, your yogurt, certain breads, cream cheese, soups, sauces, and even pet food. It's everywhere in the processed food world, used as a stabilizer and thickener that gives food a consistent texture, and it also prevents separation and extends its shelf life. If you're in the pharmaceutical aisle, it's there too. Guar gum is used in tablet formulations, cholesterol medications, and treatments designed to protect the stomach lining. It's in shampoo, lotion, cosmetics, you name it. It's a genuinely invisible ingredient in dozens of products you use every single day. All of that, the food, the pharmaceuticals, the cosmetics, all of these is the secondary story. The primary story is oil. The oil and gas industry, by a significant margin, is the single largest consumer of guar gum. And the reason comes down to a process you've probably heard of: hydraulic fracturing, or fracking. Here's how it works, very briefly. To extract oil or natural gas trapped inside shale rock deep underground, you pump a high-pressure fluid mixture down into the well. That fluid cracks open the rock formations. Then sand, called a proppant, gets carried into those cracks to hold them open and let the oil and gas out. The problem is, how do you get millions of pounds of sand to travel deep underground without it just settling to the bottom? You need that fluid to be extremely thick. You need a gelling agent. You need, in short, guar gum. Guar gum creates the perfect viscosity to suspend the sand and carry it exactly where it needs to go. The shale energy revolution that transformed the United States into an energy superpower over the past 2 decades, guar was a key ingredient. The fracking boom that drove down energy prices globally, guar was in the fluid. The oil and gas segment of the guar gum industry was worth over $200 million as far back as 2017, and it's been growing steadily since. The entire global guar gum market was valued at around $1.5 billion in 2024, with projections putting it well past $2 billion by 2030. A cattle bean from medieval India is now a strategic energy resource. But here's where things get a little uncomfortable. About 80% of the world's guar is grown in one country, India, and within India, production is concentrated in one single state, Rajasthan, and also parts of Gujarat. The most important growing area is around the city of Jodhpur. Think about that for a second. The fracking operations that produce a huge portion of the United States' domestic oil and natural gas are dependent, in a very real and practical way, on monsoon rains falling correctly over a desert region in northwestern India. When Rajasthan has a bad harvest year, guar prices spike globally, and when prices spike, that ripples out across every industry that uses it. Oil drilling gets more expensive, ice cream manufacturers pay more for stabilizers, pharmaceutical companies feel it in their supply chains. This happened dramatically around 2012, when the US fracking boom and a difficult harvest season in India collided, and guar prices went haywire. It's the kind of fragility that only becomes visible when something breaks. We build entire industrial civilizations on single points of failure, and then we tuck them away in the supply chain where no one looks at it, and call the system stable until it no longer is. So, the next time you are pumping gas, think about the chain of events that made it possible. The horizontal drilling, the fracking fluid, the sand suspended in that fluid by a thick sticky gel. That gel, made from a ground-up bean grown in a dry field in India. A bean that's been cultivated as cattle fodder since medieval times and doesn't even exist in the wild. The next time you eat ice cream, think the same thing. The next time you apply lotion on your skin, think of the same thing. There is an entire category of things like this, plants, compounds, processes that are absolutely foundational to modern life, and yet most of us walk right past them without a second thought. Guar is one of them, and now at least you know its name.